This smacking me upside the head right now. Come on, we're gonna go. Shay, you got something you want to share? Let's say.
I was just wanting to say that the boasters, you're just as held as much accountable as when you're congratulating this type of
Huh,
behavior.
huh.
But what I would look at them and say, like, they claim to know the Most High. And I'm trying to understand, how can people claim to know him, his character, and still disobey him?
Verse 28 says, read verse 28, Shay. This. They say they know God. Yeah, you know God, but this is what you know the most. They know the Most High, but this is what they're doing to show the Most High the love of God. This is what they showing the Most High, that they love him. They not showing that they love him. They showing that they don't love him. Read verse 28.
Okay, verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient.
Huh?
Mm,
They God know whether they know love him or not. The Most High made
mm,
his judgment.
mm-hmm.
He turned them over to a reprobate mind. Okay, go ahead. You don't want to listen to me? You want to do what you want to do? Then they're gonna be worse off than they ever probably ever been in their life. They're gonna start doing all the things after verse 28. You go to 29, 30, 31. This is all the things that they're gonna start doing. They're gonna be proud. They're gonna be boastful. They're gonna debate that the person, I love the most. I just know you don't. You're a liar and the truth in ain't. They haters of God, despiteful, like you say, proud boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient. They do not have no love of Yahweh in them. The Most High, it's too late for them. The Most High already turned them over to the way they're going to be, and the only way they're going to come out from that mental mind state that they're in, the Most High turn them into a reprobate mind. They have to repent and ask for forgiveness and not do that which is totally against. They're covenant breakers. Verse 31, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affections, implicable, unmerciful. They don't care about the laws and commandments of the Most High. They are despicable, man. They're implicable. It's just the worst of the worst. You can't get no worse than what is described to them. And matter of fact, Ark Moses got this. He pulled the definition up for us. We're gonna go and look at what vow is. This is all vow cover all of these things right here. They have a vow mind state. They have a vow way of doing things, thinking, and carrying them out. Let's look at what Moses had for us.
Um, let's see. It says vile affections. It could be described for people or actions that are morally corrupt, despicable, or abominable. It could also refer to things empty, foolish, or dishonorable. So when I look it up in the blue letter, to that verse in Romans 1 and I think it's 25 or 26, it says the biblical usage is dishonor, ignominy, and disgrace. Dishonor, reproach, shame. So that's the New Testament uh, definition of vile. So I also found it in the Old Testament. And I think that would be Isaiah 32 and 6, where it just says, for the vile person who speak villainy and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. So another person sinning against the Most High. So when we read what vile means, and that it just means foolish, senseless. Um, the definition, that was the biblical usage in that one, but the definitions, the strong definition is stupid, wicked, especially impious, vile person.
Right. I appreciate that. Biana brought that out, man. They was, like to go against the nature of the God, the natural things of the Most High. You got to be stupid. You got to be you're a foolish person. You're very foolish. You're foolish to go against the natural things of the Most High. That is ill. That is wicked. But this is what we're dealing with in the world. This is what we got to protect our children from, our loved ones from. It's very important to understand and know the laws and the commandments of the Most High, know the scripture, know the word. Person talking like know the word, you don't know the word. You're going totally against what the Most High is saying. What is it? You're turn over to a reprobate mind to be wicked, to be evil. You're not gonna talk no smooth. I don't agree. No, wicked. And Most High give us all the ammunition, all the tools we need to show us what a person like that is. I didn't want to whiz through this. I know it's going to be probably more than one complete lesson. I believe Agbiana going to dissect it and break it down and put it in perspective because it's a lot, and it's a lot to retain. It's a lot that needs to be understood about having a mental mind state like this, to operate and think that you think it's okay to be that way. You're not okay. You're deluded. You're delusional. You're demented. The Most High has turned you over to that reprobate mind to be lost, to be destroyed. The Most High has given you exactly what you desire. You want to be that way? Okay, I'm gonna make you be that way. I'm gonna give you the heart after that. And they lost from that point on. So moving from what we have, let's look at the lesson is really out of Leviticus. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 18. I'm gonna go to Leviticus chapter 18 because this is what the world is under. The world is under this. I wouldn't call it scrutiny. I just call it like, look, that's the way the person wants to be. We go to verse 20. Leviticus chapter 18. We're gonna look at verse 20.
You want me to read it?
Con, you can read it. You can read it.
Okay. This is the book of Leviticus, the 18th chapter, and we're going to begin with verse 20. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife, to defile thyself with her.
Now, I touched on that because you are just like the detestable person that defile human nature. A man laying with another man's wife, a wife that's married, lying with a man, however you want to put it, you're just as worse as those that have been turned over to a reprobate mind, to be just as wicked as two men lying together, two women lying together. You're just as worse. And when you says thou shalt not lie carnally, you're thinking in your own mind to do what you want to do. You're carnally minded. It means you're doing what you want to do. The carnal mind works hand in hand with the flesh, the lustful desires of the flesh. So you're carnally minded, so you're out of the will of the Most High. And that's a nature that the world, men and women, have to fight against the wiles of the devil. Because they carnal mind and they flesh. They let their flesh get away with them. And that's a battle for the world. For those that say they love the Most High. You got to lie with them. A man ain't got to lie with a man. Lie with a married woman. That's just as worse as the man lying with a man. And women, a lot of women don't understand. Like, I'm not married no more. You still married to that man until he die. But a lot of us don't know the scriptures to stand on that. I think Beyond touched on that in the lesson. I think we touched on that marriage, about the marriage, about being defiled in the marriage. A lot of women got to get divorces, like, oh, I'm gonna divorce him, I'm gonna move on and do this and that. Okay, you're not honoring the word of the Most High. Because you jumped out there, you was thinking carnally, you thinking you're gonna control the man, quote unquote, with the box. You want, yeah, I'm gonna control him, I'm gonna have him on lockdown. I got the best coochie in the world. But if you got the best coochie in the world, then you should be able to have that one man in your life and have him on lock. And y'all both be writing the Most High in this word together. Now, in this lesson, take note in verse 8, in chapter 18, the laws of immoral relations. Take note of that. Leviticus 19, take note of that. Idolatry forbidden. That's very important to take note of that. To chapter 20 on human sacrifices and immoralities. Take note of that. I say read all 3 chapters. Because I'm going to skip from Leviticus 18, verse 20. We're going to jump over to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. These are the detestable things of the Most High. This is how you become detestable in the Most High's eyes.
Okay.
Nadai, would you read verse 13 from Leviticus chapter 20?
Okay, this is the book of Leviticus, the 20th chapter, and we're going to start with verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
Dude don't know that. If dude knew the line with a man, the way he lied with a woman, he'd know that, from the Levitical law, supposed to be put to death. Because and it's an abomination against the Most High. He ain't repenting. He thinking he in glory. That man thinking he in glory. A woman like that thinking they in glory. I say it's very important to read Leviticus chapter 18, 19, and 20. Read about this foul and wickedness of the carnal, being carnally minded and lust of the flesh. This is how far individuals will go. They will lie with animals, committing bestiality, doing all kinds of wicked, immoral things. And they thinking that this is okay. This is what most of the world is doing. When you look at these television shows, you look at these movies, you look at the lifestyles of a lot of people around the world. Oh, I thank God for this, thank God for that. You's a whole homosexual. You's a whole lesbian. You don't love the Most High. But they quick to say, oh, give all honor to God. You don't give honor. You don't glorify the Most High. They don't glorify the Most High. They glorify themselves. See a lot of entertainers, same-sex marriages. They're not marriages for real. But they thinking, and they do it in the church. Then you got a stupid, ignorant priest, or quote unquote, those are wicked men. Those are wicked women to marry them off top anyway, or thinking that they have making a covenant with the Most High. Are they serious? They all turn over to a reprobate mind. They all wicked. They all ill. All of them. Every last one of them. Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3. We're going to try to read through. I wrote various verses down. I'm just going to breeze through because I want to come to a closing out of the book of John. But we're going to read these. These are 1-verse chapters. I have some of them starred. I'm just going to read in this fundamental, retaining knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the Most High to give it to us. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Read that, Nadar.
Okay. All right, this is Genesis, the 3rd chapter, and we're going to begin with verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
That's an order. Most High gave that order. He gave that order to the woman because of what Eve done. He also gave order to the man and what the man done. This is what we got to go through. This is what we got to suffer. If we reading the scriptures, reading the context, you understand. You know, they had a commandment. They're supposed to kept the commandments of the Most High. When they didn't keep the commandments of the Most High them going to, he would punish them, put them on a life, eternity punishment. We still in our punishment. So we think carnally and think with the flesh. The man you get with, you had these children with, there's some type of form of connection there. It's a form of you connected mentally, physically, spiritually, unless that the child's father died. That's why it's greatly to repent, ask for forgiveness, and get right with the Most High. So a woman don't be having various children with different men, children with various men, or a man having various women and not knowing the responsibility of what it's going to take to cover her properly in this truth, in this word. It's very important. Most I gave it to us from the beginning. So I went to Genesis. It's very important to keep the order of the Most High. The Most High know how to deal with us way, way better than we know how to deal with ourselves. And we can't even deal with ourselves without him giving the order. You think if you leave your children alone, leave them alone for a day, 24 hours. Children, they wouldn't know how to, they wouldn't survive the way that they would survive without mom and dad being there. Without mom and dad being there, they'd survive the best of what was instilled in them to do. But it's gonna be some chaos in there. You need the order. We need order. We all need order. We have work, go to work, go on our occupations. We need order there. It needs to be order. The kingdom of heaven is in order. Everything's in order in the kingdom of heaven. But you want order in your household. You want order on your place of business. We need order. If nobody don't obey the stoplights and green and red and yellow, there'll be plenty of fatalities out there. Don't respect the order and the natural honor of the weather conditions that the Most High bring through. All the things that happen. You need order. We need order. There has to be order. The Most High gives that order. You have to be obedient and follow the commandments and laws of the Most High to be in order. That's the only way we're going to be in order. Do what you want to do from your carnal mind, thinking that you know what you know, you don't really know, and it ain't the Most High's law given to do it the way He wanted it to be done, being created in His image and His likeness, to keep the commandments and the law. You're gonna be out of order. You're gonna be thinking outside of Him. You're gonna be in a carnal mind, making yourself as the Most High. You're not the creator. You're the created. Follow the Creator. It's good that our children follow our order in the household. Do what mom say, do what dad say. It's the best. Especially if you got a dad, that's he's all about disciplinary. He's the disciplinary. The men are the disciplinaries. The women are the wives to say the children most times. Or it could be vice versa. It has to be an order there, some type of order. Moms could be quick to grab the belt. Dad could be quick to grab the belt, quick to grab the switches, and apply order there. But it's a balance there. I'm sure it's a balance. It has to be a balance there. You know, it just has to be a balance. It works out when it's balanced. You know, like using an example, just close my eyes thinking, using the example of the scales. You got the scale, the woman with the scales in her hand, they weigh for justice. It has to be a balance. Something can't outweigh the other. It has to be a balance. Evil can't, the Most High not gonna allow evil to outweigh justice. But the evil is there for to be balanced. Because now we've fallen short of the glory of the Most High. Adam and Eve fell short of the glory of the Most High. Now they have to be balanced. We're not balanced because we operate a lot of times out of our carnal mind and our flesh. And that can get us off balance. If we're not thinking outside of the will of the Most High, we can be way off. It's important to be balanced. The woman brings balance to the man brings balance to the woman, balancing everything out. The man could be off the chain. The woman knows she got to humble herself to a certain level to know how to work with him to balance everything out. It could be vice versa. The woman can be off the chain. Got to be balanced. Can't walk together, touch and agree together. Be balanced in his world. And it should be thankful. And the man should be thankful of his wife. The wife should be thankful of her husband. Be thankful of the Most High that y'all be able to do things together. Man and woman able to work out things together. If not, then it's going to be unbalanced. No man is going to walk with a woman and there ain't no balance there, or vice versa. It has to be a balance. However way you work it out has to be a balance. Or a woman making, she making X amount of money a year and the man making X amount of money. The woman may make more. Still have to be balanced. Has to be a balance. Has to be order. Order from the kingdom of heaven. The children have to be balanced. Can't come in doing what they want to do. If they're doing whatever they want to do, they come in from outside all day, come in, go in the refrigerator, drink out the jug. They ain't wash their hands, they ain't wash, they ain't wash up for the day, they ain't clean themselves for the day, they ain't take a bath in 2-3 days, and what? No balance. They need to be balanced. There need to be order there. You need to get up, get yourself together, so you can go to school, prepare for school for your lessons for the day. And, that's the order. Lunch is at 12 o'clock, bedtime at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever time. Dinner is at this time, that time. Chores this time, that time. It has to be order there. Let it not be no order. Let it be disorder. It's going to be chaotic. We don't want to live like that. We want to have some type of balance and order. Have to be. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. We'll be moving around a little bit. Get through this. Order. We got to stay in order.
Mm-hmm.
The dad, you can read it when Ogb got it up. Shay, you're more than welcome to interject and read if you want, sis. Yeah. As well. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3.
Okay. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, and we beginning with verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ YaHaWah, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ YaHaWah is God Yahweh.
That's the order. That is the order. It has to be in order. Now, I'm not telling a woman to be with an unrighteous man or unrighteous man be with an unrighteous woman. I'm not saying that. They have to be the head is YaHaWah. YaHaWah Shai, the man of YaHaWah Shai, the woman of YaHaWah Shai. You have to be an order there. I would never advise a man or woman to be with someone that's not in order with the Most High. Even if that man is not there. The woman single, she by herself, she may have children or not, but YaHaWah Shai is her head. If a man is going to be with her and she want to be with a man, they be together, they have to understand that YaHaWah Shai is the head of them both. And it's an order there. If you follow that order, it won't be nothing out of order. That's the commandment of the Most High, to be in that order. Let's go to Proverbs. Go to Proverbs chapter 7, verse 25.
Come. Okay, this is the book of Proverbs, the 7th chapter, and we're going to read verse 25. Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths.
Read again.
Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths.
Calm. There can be a lot of it can be some gorgeous. I'm gonna tell you, like y'all, the sisters, the daughters of the Most High, gorgeous. Israel itself, with all of the women of Israel. I'm not just speaking of the women of Israel alone, but being the chosen of the Most High. You got women of different nationalities, and they could be fairly nice looking. Care what nationality they are from, gorgeous. And even you got Esau, Edomite, gorgeous, nice looking women from different nationalities. It's best being a man in this truth to go with a woman that's in order with the Most High. If she's not, it's not a good thing. Let not thine heart decline to her ways, because she can mislead you. That woman that's not in order and that's not grounded and rooted in this truth can mislead you. Go not astray in her path. Don't even look at that way. Going that way unto a woman that's not grounded and rooted in this truth, you're gone the wrong way. Akim, brothers, men, you've gone the wrong way. You go on with a sister that's not grounded and rooted in this truth. You're automatically gone off the beaten path of righteousness. Go with a sister like that, and vice versa. A sister get under a man that's not walking right with the Most High, you're gone astray. Dangerous.